In Clair Obscur Expedition 33, there are really a bunch of hidden items, Pictos, and hidden bosses. And friends, I have spent almost 20 hours in Act 1 alone trying to find everything. And that's why today I'm giving you a little summary of the best items in Act 1 that you absolutely shouldn't miss. In Act 1 there are already some decisions we can make to obtain in items, or not obtain them at all, or only get them very, very late. That's why today I'm showing you the best items in Act 1 that you absolutely shouldn't miss. And we'll dive right in because in the prologue there are already the first hidden things that you can miss right away. However, we are only focusing on the important things here, and I'll show you those today in this guide. So feel free to give a thumbs up and let's get started. And if you really want to have everything complete, then follow the 100% on the channel. And friends, as I said, it already starts in the prologue. If you don't defeat the Mime here, then you won't be able to get this trophy anymore. So in the prologue, make sure to defeat the Mime. It doesn't give any special item but the trophy Mime play, which we can't obtain later in the game. Additionally, it also gives the music album, which we can't get otherwise, and we will need that later for the trophy of all music albums. Otherwise, you should definitely take the old key in the prologue. You will need it quite late in the game to access an important item, so make sure to take the old key in the prologue. How it all works is of course in the guide. Otherwise, we will then go to the Flying Waters at a slightly later point, and there are of course certainly some things we can miss or get comparatively speaking early without perhaps knowing it. So, as you progress and reach the checkpoint of Expedition 59, you will quickly see the hotel here and also enter the mansion for the first time. Behind the little house there's a bit of chroma which you can of course take with you, but in the hotel itself, in the little house, we can already collect an important item that I personally missed the first time. In the mansion, you can always repeat it when you enter the mansion again. Just go up the steps here and then go left once. And here is a picture where we can jump through and then receive a boost for the form of life. And we need that, of course, to enhance our potions. From here you can even find a secret room if it's your first time in the mansion. Just go to the wall here and click the corresponding levers. And you can discover a music album hidden behind a secret door. The next switch is here on the pillar, and the next one is back here on this wall. And then a secret passage opens over here. And here you need to click the last one, which is up here. Then you go through here, and here you will find a hidden music album right here in the chest. And we will need that later, of course. Yes, otherwise this area is complete for now. And when you leave the mansion, you will find the first merchant, and you should definitely buy everything from him because this merchant disappears later and won't be there anymore. You can actually face him and fight against him here. And then you can get a cool Pictus here, which is still relatively useful later on. And that's why you should always buy everything relevant from this merchant. So let's go into the trading menu. And here we have the exposing attack. Wutsama, the standard attacks render the enemy defenseless for 1 round. And this is a Pictus that we can still use quite well later on, easily learn and equip to all characters. Otherwise play up to the Expedition 48 checkpoint here and then definitely go left through to these algae and along here. And here you see the first really big enemy which we can of course defeat. Remember that you can always use break on him to make him spit out the other characters again. So, in case he steals one from you, then he will just spit them out again. And for that, break is of course very useful. And yes, once you've defeated him, you get his skin, which we can also use later. Additionally, you get the Pictus Enhanced Counter 1, which is very, very useful at the beginning and gives you 25% more damage with counters. Yes, so we also get the skin and a new weapon. And yes, we then move on, friends, to the next section. And indeed, when you're out on the world map, you should definitely visit the beach here. This is the first beach with a minigame, and there will always be minigames at other beaches as well. That's why you shouldn't miss them, just for the fun of it. But of course, you also get a cool reward each time, namely in the form of a swimsuit. And this is available for every beach, for every character. So go here once, talk to the strong Gestrel standing up front, and then you have to complete a course here. This naturally requires a bit of patience and skill. I also fell down a few times at the beginning, but in the end you manage to get across. Be careful not to roll into the hole here and go back there. And here you will find another Gestrel where we have to answer a question. And the answer there is 17. And thus we also receive the swimsuit and can try it out right away. Then we continue in the Gestrel, and when we arrive there, there is a very, very important decision you must make correctly to get one of the best swords for Maelle. And this is available in the Gestrel. A tournament takes place here in which we must participate. And here you must definitely compete in the tournament with Maelle to get the best loot from this tournament. Namely, her weapon. And this weapon is truly one of the best weapons for her. You must not miss it. I still use this weapon at the end of Act 2. And it is really ultra strong. Due to the starter buff, it receives. So definitely complete the tournament with her to obtain this special weapon. You will then receive the sword, Medallum Nidasinkem, and it is truly one of the best weapons for her. And you should definitely get it. We can see it here again. I upgraded it directly to level 9, and the thing is super strong because she immediately switches to the Virtuoso stance when the battle begins. You can still get the weapon later, but only if you defeat Golgra. And it's practically impossible at the beginning, so you should definitely do it beforehand. Let's move on. Specifically to the Yellow Harvest, a side area that you don't necessarily have to do, but definitely should, because there are some cool things to collect there, including a very important Pictus. When we reach Expedition 68 checkpoint, I'll show you where to find the hidden merchant who has a very good Pictus, namely the Pictus Teamwork, and it grants your group members 10% more damage when they are alive. Yes, and that's great because our guys are always alive. And from that we all get 10% more damage. It's important that you learn the Pictus and equip it to the individual group members as well. And then we all get again 10% more damage. So, according to basic math, that would be 30% more damage for the whole group. And that's pretty awesome. Just jump up here and you can collect an expedition journal up here. Specifically, the expedition journal 38. And this is the place where we also find the hidden merchant. He's hidden where he's above, and you can't really see him clearly from here. Walk over here past this statue all the way to the edge. And if you look up here, you'll see up there. Up there we can also use the grappling hook, which is really easy to overlook, and then we can get up here. And here is a hidden merchant. And here we can buy the Pictus Teamwork, but of course only if we have defeated the merchant. Additionally, you can also get the chosen hair and the Pictus self-destruct here, which sometimes isn't that bad. But of course you have to consider that it costs quite a lot of lumina once you've learned it. Otherwise you go in and do the fight with whoever you want, of course. The merchant is accordingly super easy, and once you've won, you get the teamwork Pictus. And yes, as mentioned, it increases damage by 10% when all allies are alive. And that's often the case. So therefore a very, very good Pictus that you shouldn't miss, friends. Buy the Teamwork Pictus here. we then move directly on. And if you have defeated the boss in the yellow harvest, then you can of course leave the level for now and set up camp. However, you should definitely come back again, because back here on the right, in the corner, there's a secret path and a hidden boss that we can handle quite well here. Jump into the deep hole and nothing will happen to you, of course. And when you arrive down here, just run straight through. You'll already see the 3, but you can first grab a lot of chroma back here in the left corner, and of course we'll take that with us. In the Platinum Guide I'll also show you where all the complete chroma is located, and where all the other items can be found, so feel free to check it out if you really want everything. We'll take 103550 chroma with us, and then we can defeat these 3 enemies here, who appear in a battle. They are already quite strong at this point. So, prepare yourself very thoroughly and just take them down. Survey. And once you've absolutely defeated them, you'll receive quite a bit. Loot in chroma and a new weapon, namely the weapon Krylin. And it is quite strong. Friends, you can definitely equip it, and it is really very effective. Otherwise, on the world map, you should definitely go up here into this little corner, because there's a hidden merchant and also a Pictus who helps us quite a bit, and you should definitely go there. First go to the merchant, and you will get the 2 pieces of clothing, the 2 hairstyles. Then from here we basically turn around. And there we can immediately find the next Pictus, which is really quite cool. So we're up here, and later before we go to the Stonewave Cliffs, we can grab these things here. So grab the Pictus here. And it's a very, very good one, or rather a good one to start with, because you get an AP at the start of each battle, and it's useful later on as well. So up here is the spot. Go there once, and then we've got it done. Now we continue to the Stonewave Cliffs, and we follow the path and keep going until we find the checkpoint of Expedition 78. From here, there's a hidden Pictus that you can very easily walk past. Run through here once, and of course take the chroma with you, that's clear. And if you follow this checkpoint, you'll soon see an open area and a pretty large rock monster, which we can of course defeat first, because it also has some very good loot that we definitely want indeed. And that's why we enter the battle here. Once we have defeated it, we safely get the Pictus itself, which isn't that important, but the next Pictus is quite good, and we definitely shouldn't miss it. From the battle, you then go left, go back here, and in this pipe, which is quite easy to miss, you'll find the next Pictus, namely Break Counter, which gives you 50% break damage on counter, which is pretty good. Of course, you also completed the quest from the stone and automatically got the armored Pictus here. What you might not have seen, however, is that there's some pretty good loot in the cave. Namely, if you walk in here and basically follow the main path and continue towards the boss fight, there's a spot that can be very, very easily overlooked. You go through the cave here and down the magical rope, and when you arrive at the bottom, you need to keep relatively to the left to basically exit the cave. Yes, and right at this spot there's also a hidden Pictus. And it's actually quite tricky, because we have to do a little obstacle course there. So first, walk along here. Just follow the path to the left, straight through here. And when you arrive up here, you can go around the corner to the right, go in here once. It's quite easy to miss. And here you can do a little obstacle course, jumping over the pillars. And over there's the next Pictus, which we will of course take with us. And that's the Pictus. It's for breaking shots, always good as shots are quite powerful. We have now collected everything important in Act 1 collected. Of course, there's much more. Feel free to follow the Platinum Guide, friends. And when you've collected everything in Act 2 as well, you'll get the ability to break rocks, the ability called Colorbreak. And I've already made a video for you about that, to catch up on all the rocks we missed in Act 1. Feel free to simply click in there. There I'll just also show you where to find all the various rocks that we couldn't possibly break in Act 1 and beyond. One have not yet been able to break, and I would of course be happy if you leave a thumbs up and maybe also subscribe, so you won't miss any more videos. So friends, until next time, take care.